Hello, everyone. Welcome to Two Buds One Podcast, episode 33. I just checked, so this is episode 33. Welcome, welcome. I am your host, the Techno Jelly, with my co-host Alchem Games. I don't know why I paused for so long there. I forgot my own name for a second. We're not redoing the intro though. We're sticking with it, so who knows? So Alchem, I sent Alchem a bunch of stuff that I wanted to talk about to Alchem, and the first one I wanted to talk about personally is kind of like, I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter and Reddit and all the social media platforms, but I've never seen people so torn about a game about other than Dragon Age the Vanguard. Like, I have seen some people very angry at each other talking about whether
Yeah,
it's the best game in the world or like actually the worst game in the world. Have you seen it? Because I've seen some
I've
people just
seen.
going at each other's throats, man.
So honestly, I've heard the only thing I'm really hearing so much of people are bitching about is the writing, and that's it.
Well, no,
Everything else
oh
seems
yeah,
to be
that
either
that's
okay.
yeah, that's what they're going at each other's throats about.
Yeah, yeah, that's it. That's the only thing I heard that people are actually. Everyone else, when it comes to gameplay, everything else, they're like, it's
Yeah,
meh.
it's. I feel like, okay. First, I'm gonna ask you this question: have you played a Dragon Age game before?
No, I haven't. I have
Okay.
no experience with it, so I wouldn't know
Do
where
you
all this
know?
is
Do
coming
you
from.
know about the Dragon Age games?
I'm familiar with the Dragon Age
Do
James,
you
yeah,
know why the writing is such a like? Do you know the
because
premise
the
of the
writing
first?
was actually really good in the previous games.
It
At
wasn't.
least,
It wasn't. Honestly, I might say something controversial here. It's not really about whether it was good or not. It was the tone of the writing, in my opinion. The Dragon Age games were dark fantasy, like dark fantasy. Do you care about like very like the first quest spoilers? Just to give you an
no,
example,
no, go for it.
literally the tutorial quest outcome is you do this quest, you join this basically you join this cult. It's a good guy cult, but it is basically a cult of the Dragon Age of like defenders of the world by drinking demon blood, and the two
Mhm.
characters, the two party members throughout the tutorial that you've had through this tutorial don't
Yeah,
make it. One dies from drinking the dragon blood, and the other one gets so scared that he doesn't want to drink it, and so the other character that's been talking with you through the tutorial kills him in front of you and then tells you to drink the dragon blood to complete the ritual to join this member.
drink it,
Yeah.
drink
And then you
it.
and then you drink it, and then you're part of the whole
You are one of
group. So like
us.
it's dark fantasy. And
You
that
belong
was
to us.
basically,
Yes.
it's basically like that. And
Yeah.
so it's dark fantasy, right? And Dragon Age the
Mhm.
Vanguard is like at best PG-13, you know? Like
Hmm.
it's very much friendship is magic. No one argue with each other. Like it's also kind of like coming from like different Mass Effect games as well. Like in the Mass Effect games
Okay.
from BioWare, your companions can hate you and they can be like really like bad to each other. And
Hmm.
in the Vanguard, all your companions always are okay with each other. Like there's never conflict really or internal conflict.
What? But that builds story.
Yeah,
Why would
exactly.
they?
Well, that's why people are very angry about it because like the writing is, I feel like sorry. The A lot of people feel like the writing is extremely safe. And it I don't know if I necessarily agree with it, but they kind of like a lot of people have been using the word Disneyfied or Pixarfied, but that's also because of how the characters look. Because the characters in Dragon Age Vanguard also are a lot more cartoony, and the original
Hmm.
Dragon Age characters are a lot more realistic in a fantasy style. It's still a fantasy game, obviously, but like
Hmm.
there's a lot of, I don't know, I think the right word is to like plasticky shininess to the characters in Velgard. I've noticed, at least. And
Huh.
I don't know, I think it's one of those things where I feel like it is
Hmm.
a problem of um a problem of potentially rapid deviation, because Do you know the history on Dragon Age the Vanguard of the development
No,
history? Because
no, I don't.
this game was supposed to be a live service free to play game. And
Oh,
that was the plan for this game originally. And either BioWare convinced EA, or EA saw all the constant fires in the live service thing and told BioWare to switch it. So BioWare either convinced them, or EA finally saw the light and were like, okay, we shouldn't do this. We should pivot into a single player game. And so that also shows like this game hasn't been in development for as long as it's actually been in development. You know what I mean? Because for the first couple years, this game was a live service co-op game, basically. And that they pivoted this game into a single player RPG. It was always a Dragon Age game, but it wasn't always a single player RPG. So I feel like this is one of the problems where this game probably only had like 3 or 4 years of actual development, and I'm pretty sure 1 or 2 years of that development is changing the game to a proper single player RPG. Now that doesn't necessarily mean that I'm not saying that as an excuse. Like I'm not trying to say this because, as an excuse to like give them some slack or anything, because to be fair, like the writer still had a decent amount of time to make a good story. Because I think also the biggest
yeah.
problem I have with this, and I guess technically slight spoilers, this might be slight spoilers. So just if people care, it might be slight spoilers. It's not actually like me talking about the story, but apparently from what I've heard, the story basically has zero decisions. It is a railroad story. Like there's a lot of decisions you make in terms of like dialogue, but there's one outcome. Like there's no good, bad,
You,
or neutral ending style.
uh,
Like there is an ending. From what
so
I can tell, to be fair,
there's no choice. It's just the illusion of it.
there does seem to be a big illusion of choice going on. Now, to be fair, I have also seen some people talk about secret endings. Because like first of all, this game is outside of the writing problems and the story problems and potentially the character, like your companion problems, because unfortunately the companions suffer because the writing is kind of bad. The companions kind of suffer, like
Huh.
the voice acting and stuff like that, perfectly reasonable, fine, but the problem is the lines they're saying suck. Like there's only so much a good voice actor can do when the dialogue options are really weird. And I've also seen some complaints about the main character, but we can get that in a little bit. But this game is still a like 40 plus hour single player RPG with a bunch of RPG stuff. So there could be secret endings or hidden endings, or maybe people are doing things in the right order. Like but from what I can tell from at least the early impressions of people playing this game, there is a there's different endings kind of, but the good guys win is the ending, and it's just like
Oh,
how they win, or like it's like certain things in the story that are slightly different, but in the overall thing is no, you guys won because you guys are the good
no matter
guys.
what.
You're the
Yeah.
party,
Okay.
you're the hero, you're going to be the hero. Like there isn't really an evil, like you can't go dark mode. Like there's no dark side option. Or
Yeah. So the
what was
illusion of
the
choice. God damn it.
yeah, that what was the two the morality system of Mass Effect?
Renegade and Paragon.
Yeah, so there's nothing like that from what I can tell. Now, like it's like I said before, it is a RPG, so like maybe people are just doing the good guy options and like no one's tried to be an evil. Though there's one guy I watch called Skill Up, and I not care about it, is like I trust his opinion a lot, and he tried to be a bad guy. Like he tried to be the renegade option, and like he said the
Hmm.
most, and this is where I'm coming off of to as well to the main character. The main character, Rook, is very scared to be mean to people. And I think the worst thing in this game, to me, for me personally, because okay, I'm gonna say something controversial, Alchem. I didn't
Mhm.
enjoy the Mass Effect games when they came. Like when I played the Mass Effect games, I didn't enjoy it. Um, because it annoyed me how often Shepard would lie to me what they're gonna say. The whole when because when you choose dialogue in a Bioware game, it gives you a synopsis of what they're gonna say, and sometimes those
Mhm.
synopses are just lies. Like it just doesn't perceive how the character is gonna say it. I think a good classic example is um in one of the scenes during Mass Effect games, I wanted to ask a guy a question, and I thought it
Mhm.
was a normal asking of a question, and instead my guy punched him and yelled at him asking the question. Like it doesn't pervade tone very well, and that's why I've always preferred the dialogue options of just say exactly. I want to know what exactly how the character says it. You know, like in Fallout,
Yeah.
or like other RPGs, or like a Baldur's Gate 3, where the set, even if it is just a bunch of sentences, no, this is what your character is exactly saying. But the Bioware games, it's always like a suggestion of what they're gonna say. And Rook is never going to be mean to people, even if like in the I think in the example that Skill Up showed, it was the dialogue says, uh, "Tell me now, idiot," or something like that. Like he wanted to call someone an idiot, but Rook doesn't say that. He just says, "Tell me now," or like who? Oh no, it was a politician like barging into a conversation that he wasn't technically invited to, and what the option says is, "Who is this idiot?" Right? But what Rook says, and Rook is being the main character, is he
Mhm.
just says, "Who is this?" He doesn't call him an idiot. Like it's like, oh, so like why does it say that? And I think that's gonna frustrate a lot of people overall, because you can't be mean. You're the good guy. And it's a very happy go fun game, it seems like, at least. and and,
Uh,
and I don't know if you've seen the gameplay of Dragon Age. It also
no, I haven't.
it's a third person action basically with
Mm.
fantasy stuff, but you can't
Okay.
control your companions at all. uh
That's boring.
your
Wait. Oh,
So you
what?
only control yourself.
That's stupid.
Yeah, and your companions basically boil down to cooldowns that you can use on your ability bar, but your companions all serve the same cooldown. So you can't like cycle your companions' cooldowns.
Oh,
If you
that's
use one of the companions'
oh,
cooldowns, all of them go on cooldown. At least from what I can tell.
I don't like that. That's
Yeah,
so dumb.
and
That's what is the point of
there's
your companions? They're basically just there for decoration.
yeah, they do actually, like they do auto attack in regular combat, and they do spells on their own as
Okay.
well. But you can't really you can't control them directly at all, which a lot of people don't like. Which is understandable, because also the original Dragon Age games were just straight up CRPGs, but this one is definitely a more action based RPG. Um, which that I think that's more of a preference base. I understand why people want the game to go back to CRPG. I disagree with the people who are saying that the game will sell more because it's an action RPG instead of a CRPG. Because Baldur's Gate 3 exists. That game sold very well, guys. CRPGs can sell very well. But yeah, it's just I think I've seen a lot of people that if you like old school Dragon Age, you probably won't like Dragon Age the Velguard. But if you like single player RPGs, you might like Dragon Age the Velguard. Fantasy based single player RPGs, you there's a good chance you'll like Dragon Age the Velguard. But if you like old school Dragon Age, uh, I don't know.
This ain't for you.
It might not be for you, because it's not dark. It's not dark fantasy. It's not a CRPG. It's action based. You only control yourself, and your character is pretty much a nice guy. No, a nice. I don't know if you can be a girl. A nice person, no matter what.
What do you mean you can't? You don't
I don't
know?
know. All the characters, all the people I've seen have been playing a male character. And I don't know if that's because you're forced to play a male character. I don't think so. I'm pretty sure
Huh.
it's both, but I've just haven't seen anyone play a
Hmm.
female character yet. To be
Okay.
fair, I haven't been like deep diving into coverage of this game. It's just been passively going through, you know. So that's
Fair enough.
Dragon Age the Velguard. Are you I know I just spent a good amount of time criticizing the game, but are you interested in playing this at all, or?
Absolutely not. It's not my genre of game anyway.
It's true, you're not a big RPG fan. I don't know. Actually, you've played a bunch of RPGs.
I played a few RPGs, but I don't know what it is about the medieval
I was
fantasy
about to say
esque
you're not really a
style.
fantasy RPG.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. It's just not. It just never draws me in, except for like Baldur's Gate was like one of the few ones that actually pulled me in.
Yeah,
A lot of the others just never did. And that's kind of why I never got into Dragon Age.
yeah. I mean, even though Dragon Age to me is interesting, it is still medieval fantasy, and you can't take that away from it. It is very much medieval fantasy. To be
Mm-hmm.
it is more high fantasy than medieval fantasy nowadays. But it's still medieval high fantasy. Before it was kind of like low fantasy because like magic wasn't that big of a deal in the older, like being a like it was more of like a witches burn witches type thing in the original games. But now like
Oh,
everyone uses magic now in the newer ones. So but
hmm.
yeah, yeah, that's Dragon Age the Velguard, and I don't think I'll ever. I didn't like the problem I have with it is that Dragon Age Origins, which is the original game, didn't age very well. One, you have to use or like the EA Play thing to play it, which is incredibly annoying, and the game didn't age very well in my opinion. At least the PC version of the game didn't age very well. It's just like Mass Effect. I played the Mass Effect, the original one, and man, did that gameplay not age very well. And I feel like some of these games are just they were good for the time, but the systems we've evolved in terms of how these games are preferably played. You know what I mean? Because like
Yeah, I do.
I think Mass Effect shows this off more than Dragon Age because man is Mass Effect's gameplay rough in the first game. I don't know. Have you played the original Mass Effect recently or at
Yeah, I
all?
did. Not recently, but I
Yeah,
did play it
but
originally, and honestly, I did enjoy. I did like the story building. I did like everything they did, even leading up to the final fight and everything.
yeah,
Like that was a great example of well done writing. Like,
yeah.
but
I
for an
criticize Mass
RPG,
Effect a lot, but I did enjoy, even though I was very frustrated with like the stuff I talked about, how Shepard constantly lies to me about what he's gonna say. But I did
oh yeah,
enjoy the
yeah, yeah, yeah,
story
yeah.
and the companions. Like I did enjoy that part of
I
Mass Effect, but the gameplay of Mass Effect One was what turned me
I
off
feel like
really hard.
I feel like that's just a trope at this point
Oh
for
yeah,
RPGs when they give you the options. You're just like one option is cordially is like it's just like wholeheartedly agree, and the other is like offer a peaceful rebuttal. You pick peaceful rebuttal, and your character just punches the
yeah.
guy
He
in the
just like
face. And like, that
smacks.
wasn't that wasn't
No,
peaceful.
that's not peaceful at all.
Like, what'd you do that for?
To be
Like
fair, I
peaceful.
still prefer that version rather than Fallout 4's. Yes, yes, but sarcastic. No, but also yes, and give me
Yeah.
money. Yes, I still prefer Mass Effect system over the Fallout 4 system, but the gameplay.
You know,
What really turned me
I'll
off
agree.
was the Mass Effect gameplay though, because the third person cover shooting of Mass Effect, the original Mass Effect,
Hmm?
definitely showed its age when I played it. Because I didn't play Mass Effect when it
I
first came
mean,
out. I played
I
it
played
years
when it first
after.
came out. Yeah, I played when it first came out, so it was still like
Oh yeah,
something
it was good. It was
just
good for the time.
still yeah, it wasn't like brand new, but it wasn't overdone and just overplayed and aged. But yeah, if you play it now, you'll be like,
It's
oh
rough.
god, this is so yeah, this is very rough.
You
But
play Mass Effect
it's
1 so you can get to Mass Effect 2 and 3 because they improve the gameplay a lot in those games.
yeah, exactly.
And even though oh sorry. even though Mass Effect Andromeda has a lot of flaws in a lot of ways, I do think the gameplay of Mass Effect Andromeda is one of the better ones, if I remember correctly from people talking about it. But yeah. Yeah, so that's Dragon Age Velguard. I won't be playing it. Alchem won't be playing it. Hopefully, you know what, Alchem? I will say this as a closing remark. We've talked about Dragon Age and Bioware and stuff like that before, and both you and I told you this and you realized that I was right, because I was scared that this was going to be Bioware's last game before they get shut down by EA. I don't think this is going to be their last game. I think true, some people don't like the game, but like there's enough talk about this game and enough people talking about the game. It's selling well enough, I think. I think BioWare is safe, and I think, true, you can not like Dragon Age the Velguard. You can have different opinions, but you know what Dragon Age Velguard is? 100 times better than Anthem. And that's all that matters. True. Honestly, that's the biggest thing for me. Dragon Age the Velguard is 100 times better than Anthem, which is what we want, and it was a single-player RPG. You can argue about the minute details or the semantics of what it is, but BioWare made a pretty good single-player RPG again, and I can be, nitpicky and stuff like that, but I'm just glad they're back doing that, because that's what I want BioWare to do, and that's what they're good at doing. And I'm cautiously optimistic about the new Mass Effect game that they're working on. Because my biggest problem with the Mass Effect series was the gameplay. And I hope that they can make the gameplay of Mass Effect cool and interesting while still being able to have good writing. Now, we can get to the nitpick. Oh my god, I can't speak. We can talk about the specifics of if the writing is good or if BioWare is going worse at the writing, but like I still want them to be making single player RPGs, and Dragon Age of Velguard has proven yes they can still make good single player RPGs, and we can.
Don't worry, if they fail, we still have tons and tons of JRPGs that everyone definitely wants. That's the same thing, right? It's the same exact thing, right? There's no difference, right?
Yeah, it's the same thing. Completely the same thing. It's basically the same
completely
thing.
the same thing. Yeah.
Persona 5 and Dragon Age are exactly the same game.
I'm kind of here like thinking, God, I really hope the the English RPG sector doesn't just fall under because of flop after flop after flop. Thankfully, Dragon Age seem to have been a flop.
Yeah. And to be fair, you're forgetting one thing, Alchem. Baldur's Gate 3 is a Western RPG.
I know.
Like that was the game of the year.
Yeah, but it's not like we're gonna get another one of those for another I'm calling it now for another decade.
I mean, I get you mean like a Baldur's Gate 4 or like.
Yeah.
Well, Baldur's Gate 4 is not happening. We know that because
no,
the studio is moving
we're not
on.
Gonna.
But
yeah, we're not getting anything like that for a long time.
I don't know. I mean, the what's it called? The Warhammer 40K CRPG is pretty decently sized, and it did pretty well. That did pretty well. There was another RPG that I can't remember what it was called now.
I'm sure it was a really good one since you can't recall it.
It's because it was just a trailer, unfortunately. Yeah, I can't.
It hasn't even come out.
No, it hasn't come out yet. It was just announced.
All right, that was my assumption, thinking that you just didn't remember even though it's been out or something.
No. It was a trailer. And I can't. The problem is it was during one of the game, like one of those presentations where it shows like 20 trailers, and so like they all blur together, I guess it also depends what you mean by single player RPG, because technically, like, there's a lot of like that new game from the guy who made BioShock is coming out soon. Like, is that an RPG? I don't know. Maybe it depends. Because like some people would say BioShock is like an RPG, and there's a lot of BioShock like games coming out. In the next couple years. Yeah. It depends on what you mean by RPG. It's also because RPG systems are in so many games now. Like character builds are in so many games now, so it really just depends. I mean, I guess the big thing is, Alchem, I agree with you when it comes to AAA games not making games like Dragon Age anymore. Basically, BioWare is the only big AAA company that still does that, because everyone else got too scared with the cost. because everyone else either got
It's
too
a high
scared.
risk. It's a really high risk.
Yeah, I mean, to
You
be
have to
fair,
have
AAA
hours of
industry.
programming, hours of writing,
Yeah,
coding, everything.
yeah,
It's is it worth it with all and the voice acting? I mean, nowadays you need voice acting.
yeah.
And
It can
granted,
get
I know
pretty
at the current
expensive.
age, they might try to replace some of the voice actors with AI, but I don't think that's still going to be viable.
It's not viable. Not for a
No,
big game. They'd be
no, not at
they'd be
all.
way too controversial. Like smaller games can get away with it right now, or teams with less budget.
Hmm.
But a AAA studio,
Yeah,
there's no way
a
that
AAA
would.
no.
But I mean, you say that, Alchem, but all the live service games have been money pits as well that have all failed. So it's like I don't know
Yeah,
if the cost is the
which
big
is why
thing.
I'm just like, I was like getting to that. I'm just like, are they getting the picture now? Are they finally understanding that these
Hmm.
get rich? I don't want to call them get rich quick schemes because they don't get rich quick at all. Like it's just they're hoping that people
It's also
will
not
latch
quick.
onto it. Like, yeah, it's not quick at all. It's these are like long-winded plans that depend on it actually getting a nice fandom or a
Yeah,
niche audience,
which you're
which
not going to
it
get
doesn't.
anymore. It just
Yeah,
does that. I don't.
yeah.
I honestly think that there is no next live service game that will survive
Mm-mm.
in the
No,
big
not at all.
scale industry that they want. I think
Yeah.
smaller games that act kind of like live service, for instance, games like Deep Rock, I think is the best example. Where technically Deep Rock Galactic is a live service game. No one would
Yeah.
really qualify it as that, but like it is. Same with like Helldivers too.
There's
But like there's
yeah,
smaller
still
teams
giving
that
up.
can, yeah, there's small teams that can survive on smaller player bases. But
Yeah.
what the AAA industry wants, all the suits and ties see, is they see Fortnite and
We want that.
zenlesszonezero, they see Genshin Impact, and they want that. But the
We
problem
want
is
that.
they don't see what they don't see is that all the people that are playing Genshin Impact aren't gonna stop playing Genshin Impact because you made a game. They're gonna continue playing Genshin Impact because one of the time investment and the money investment.
Mhm.
Like
Yeah.
you're not fighting the
They
gotcha
made their
games.
choice. They made their choice there. They know what they want. Don't try to replicate it.
Yeah.
You could try to do something like along the lines, but if you're trying to replicate it one for one, or at least try to do something around the same genre,
Yeah.
then no, you're not going to win that many
You
people
can't.
over. Maybe a niche group, maybe a
Maybe.
very small niche group, but not enough to sustain yourself.
Not in the AAA
Or at least
world.
when these AAA companies, yeah, they want like an overnight success.
Yeah. Because what
Hell, I've
I
even
think
seen
what a
like
lot
those
of
videos. Yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just seeing like I remember hearing or reading some stuff where like game devs, especially like not publishers, but like the game devs are saying, yeah, no, if this game does not just become an overnight success and sell it at apparently they're saying like some ridiculous lofty goal, then it ain't gonna survive. Even if it's enough to actually sustain themselves,
Yeah.
if it just doesn't reach a certain goal that the publishers or whatever it is the higher ups want, it's not going to sustain. It's not going to survive. They're not going
Yeah.
to continue.
Well, it's not about sustainability for them. It's about profits.
No. Yeah, they want some ridiculous like some lofty gold profit that is impossible unless you just
Yeah.
happen to hit the right notes, or like what Lethal Company did a while back, what Among Us did. They want that.
Helldivers
But
too.
yeah, they want what Helldivers did. They want that. They want what Palworld did. But no, it's not going to be. It's just
I mean, the
they
funny
just
thing
did a
is
crapshoot and it worked.
all those games have one thing in common. It's a small team, relatively
Mm-hmm.
small team,
Yeah.
making a game that most people wouldn't like not categorize as live service. I think the problem is they misunderstood what live service actually means, and they kind of misunderstood what live service entails. And personally, I think live service just needs to die. Like
That service has been bastardized.
all the live service games can be successful. It's just like the problem is
They
what they
bastardized
thought
it
live
is
service
and what
was.
expectations are. Yeah.
Yeah, what they thought live service was isn't what live service actually is. What live service is a game that gets constant updates. But what they thought it is what a game that is split into parts that you slowly update.
Nope.
Like it's
That's
like
what
the game starts as a full game. Like,
yeah.
I think the biggest thing is that I still haven't beat
I mean
1.0 in Honkai Star Rail. They're like on
damn.
like they're like in like some like crazy like third chapter right now, and like I fell behind, and I'm not as into like the gotcha games as much as some other people, so I kind of just stopped
Mhm.
playing, and I'm maybe one day I'll come back. The same with Zenless. Like I stopped playing Zenless because I'm like I like this game, but like I'm just not the type of person to do like the daily login stuff.
Same.
I'm just not that type of person. And
I think the best example that I could ever go to, which is still today, still I don't know, I haven't played in like the past years of that game. I think I don't know if you would agree, but I think WoW is still a great example of a live service because there was always updates, there was
yeah,
always new expansions, there was always
mm,
stuff going on. Even in between expansions, they did stuff.
yep. I mean,
I
World of
I
Warcraft, I
think
think, is what live service is before live service was like a term.
yeah. I think another good example of a live service would be I maybe this is a poor it's a poor example, but it's at least a decent example. I'd say Destiny 1. It came out with a story at
I would say
first. It
both
had its
Destinies.
original story. Yeah.
I think both
From beginning
Destinies
to
count.
end. Yeah. Yeah, I think so too. I was going to go with Destiny 1
You
for
can
example
talk
because
about
when it came out,
quality.
you had
You can talk about quality, but they're both live service, I would say. I think they both
yeah, yeah.
like people can argue about which one was better, but they're both live
Yeah.
service games.
Yeah, because they released with a full beginning to end story,
Yep.
and then you added more and more and more, and of course the story continued to push
Yeah.
further and further.
Yep.
So you got to like an end game, and there you go. That's a live service. Eventually, yes, you have to reach an end for a live service unless you
Yep.
can find like a continuous, never-ending war scenario. But I mean, some people get bored of that.
Yeah.
So that's why you got to figure out what kind of a story you got to do. And WoW has been doing that for like decades at this
Yeah.
point.
I think WoW is like the old school example, and the new age example
Mhm.
is Genshin Impact.
Yeah, I think so. That would
Genshin,
make sense.
Honkai, and Zenless now,
Sorrail.
and
Eh,
Third Impact as well, which is their original
I,
other game. Like
yeah.
the Hoyoverse games are like the standard now of a live service game, and you just can't fight them. Like even the
At least when it
other
comes to
anime gotcha,
story.
even the other anime gotcha games, I'm sure, are like dwarfed by how big Hoyoverse is.
I
Like,
mean, I'll give another one as a live service, but with a piss poor story, but the gameplay's so good that people keep coming back to it. Is what's it called? Fortnite. Yeah,
oh yeah,
Fortnite is continuously a live service because they
yep.
keep bringing out new
Well, that's
seasons, new
what
maps,
the
new everything.
I'm sure that's what the AAA industry sees. It's Fortnite and Genshin. Those are the two
Yeah,
games it sees, and they think they can make billions of dollars. But what they don't see is the upfront cost. First of all, of Genshin, which is like people make fun of how Genshin Impact when it first came out, it was Breath of the Anime or like Legend of Anime because it was basically Breath of the Wild, but anime characters and gotcha. But like it's
yeah,
still a functional good game, which is
yeah.
also a
And they
problem because it's
continuously
also a
put.
gambling, it's basically a gotcha gambling machine, which
Yep.
is a whole other problem with the gaming industry right now. But
And they
they don't.
continuously put out stuff. They
Yep.
put out content. They put out videos. They put out jokes, memes,
Everything.
all this different stuff.
Which and they don't
Everything they
see the
continue being relevant.
which costs tons of money, and the only reason they can continually do that is because they're making tons of money, but they don't see the upfront
Yep.
cost of the other 100 other gotcha games that were closed down after like 6 months because they couldn't keep up. Like they don't
Yep.
see all the fail, like the literal graveyard of anime gotcha games that Genshin Impact has destroyed because no one else can compete with them. Other than like Nikkei and like I guess there's a bunch that can survive
Nikkei,
now.
Arc Knights, Blue Archive, a couple of others, but those are mobile art. Those are like I know. Okay,
The
I know.
mobile market is different, to be fair.
Yeah, the mobile art market is very different. But yeah, no, there
Yeah,
behind every success there is literal
the
hundreds of
graveyard.
graveyards of
Yeah,
old games that didn't work so well.
yeah. So moving on from a game that neither of us played, to a game that you have played and I'm interested in, but I decided not to play it because I am not going to be playing it on launch. And so, Alchem, I would like you to tell me how you and if you or okay, wait, I just had a stroke. 1 second, Alchem, I would like you to tell me how you've been enjoying or not enjoying. I don't know the Monster Hunter World or Monster Hunter Wilds
Wilds.
Wilds beta.
Yes. I have honestly, I've actually gotten to enjoy it quite a bit. Of course,
Nice.
it's the open beta. You only get a little
Yeah,
glimpse
it's a
of the
teaser.
opening
It's a
story and
teaser.
everything.
Let's be real. It's a teaser.
So and that's yeah.
It's a
And
marketing
for
beta.
for a teaser, you are given quite a bit, despite the storyline being short. Of course, you have four monsters in which you can go hunt around for.
Nice.
They show
Are
you the
they new
whole pack
monsters?
mentality. Yep, they're all new
Oh,
from
nice.
World and Rise.
Oh no, no.
Uh,
Wait. Are so they're repeats or?
I'm trying to. Unfortunately, I don't know if some of them are.
Oh, okay.
I'm not too like big
To be fair,
to
I
remember
have
all the
still
monsters.
only ever played Monster Hunter World, so.
So, but I enjoyed I enjoyed the gameplay. The new mechanics are nice. The new ways you can like transport around is
What
really
is the
nice
new
and refreshing.
mechanics?
Okay, so some weapons have gotten some new little mechanics to their fighting, to how you can fight with them.
Oh,
Some
okay.
new combat system. I really I'm a sword and shield main myself, beside and also charge blade, which I still
Yeah.
need to practice more. But sword and shield apparently has a nice perfect block, which I think everyone has. I think every single character now has like a perfect block kind of mechanic,
Oh, okay.
where if you time it right, you can parry an attack and launch a counter attack. Some of them just let you do a big damaging swing, and some include some nice little animation. Like
Mm.
for instance, mine for sword and shield, I like push them off, and then they try to lunge at me with their teeth. Meanwhile, your hunter's holding them back while trying to like land some stabs with their other hand,
Oh,
and
okay.
it looks really cool. It's all cinematic. That's just one small little thing. They've added cool little things where you can set up your own bases instead of preset bases around the world, around the map. You now have let's see,
Like a mobile
oh,
camp.
okay, yeah, they have like a camp that you can set up around the world. Like you can choose to pick to place your little mini camp there,
That's cool. I
and it
actually like
tells you,
that.
yeah. And what makes it even funnier and cooler is at first I didn't understand why it was telling me this, but when I was placing a map there, it's saying secure, dangerous, like insecure, and basically it's saying the level of safety in that area,
Oh,
meaning your camp can get attacked by monsters if it's found.
that's pretty cool.
And so yeah, I found that out when I had a campground set, left it there because I forgot about it, and then later I see a notification saying that a one of the monsters found my camp, and then shortly after it's saying it destroyed my camp. So I'm like, oh, okay, so your temp camps can't be there forever unless you find a safe place.
Yeah, unless
The
you find a
monsters will
really
just
good hiding
destroy it.
spot.
Yeah,
That's cool.
it's but it's just really fun what they've done so far with the game, and I'm just looking forward to trying out when the full game comes out.
Yeah. Are you gonna be getting the game right away?
I hope so. It all depends on what I can do, what I can afford at the time.
Yeah, yeah. So
I know it
you're
comes out like
playing yeah,
next year,
yeah, it's coming out in
February somewhere.
February. Yeah, yeah. Which
Yeah,
is interesting because it's surprising that the beta happened so early. You know what I mean?
I know.
Like you would think that the beta would happen like a month before or something like that, but no.
Yeah,
Bless you.
yeah, thank you.
Um
They're trying to, I don't know, they're trying to draw attention to themselves. I mean, it's working on me
yeah.
already.
I mean it's also Capcom. Capcom can be they're a little
Yeah.
strange sometimes.
The only gripe I will have is the one issue that a lot of people have mentioned right now. Capcom has stated that in order to avoid any like graphical errors, you should have the game running on an SSD card. The
Mm.
reason for that is apparently the game requires just an additional boost. Otherwise, your character, or the monsters, or some of the NPCs will appear all polygonal. Like it doesn't load
Yeah.
their shaders and graphics right.
Weird.
Which I had an issue at the beginning, where when I was making my character, it showed them all as polygons and it looked really distorted and
Looks
broken.
weird, yeah.
But after a bit, it loaded up fine. But I have seen people post their videos and post pictures showing some of the monsters that they fought just looked like PlayStation 1 nightmares.
Yeah, because they're not loading fast enough.
Which
It
exactly.
hopefully they can fix that,
And
because not everyone has an
I,
SSD.
yeah, I honestly hope that I mean Capcom of all people of all companies should not be requiring something. They never had something like this as a requirement.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, Monster Hunter is like one of their it's one of their best games that they usually release, especially since Worlds.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like if it requires another hardware requirement, people are gonna ride.
Yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I've seen a lot of people complaining about technical issues during the beta. And I mean, luckily, a lot of these technical issues seem that can be fixed in the months that to come. Because it's not like...
Yep.
It seems like it's a lot of optimization problems, which hopefully they can do. Or at least fix before launch.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least do something to help. We'll see. Me personally, I mean, I still haven't even technically beat Monster Hunter World. I'm very far behind when it comes to Monster Hunter stuff. At some point, I still need to play a bunch of it. Yeah. It's because I had to restart my character. So, and
shame on you, Hunter.
I know, right? And my controller is sometimes being weird, so I need to like reload the game. I need to reload the game on keyboard and mouse. So we'll see how that goes at some point.
Sorry about that.
I've seen a lot of people play the game on keyboard and mouse. The keyboard and mouse is totally fine. Sure. So it is. I know it is.
No, I know. You can definitely that game definitely can work with keyboard and mouse because it has so many complicated mechanics on it. Then having the extra buttons a keyboard and mouse will definitely work.
Yeah. So one day I'll need to like get into like a thing where I'm just doing stuff in Monster Hunter. The problem is that like I can't remember what weapon I used, and so I'm like I just can't remember. I think it was like a samurai sword or something like that, or I don't know what it would be
the long sword.
It might be the long sword. I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't remember. But yeah. So moving on from Capcom onto Nintendo, I think so. Alchem, how much do you know about the Nintendo Music app?
Very little at all.
All right, I'm gonna give you the rundown, Alchem. Alchem, do you like Nintendo music?
Yeah, I do.
Would you like really awesome. Just like a convenient app that has all Nintendo music on it?
Would I like a convenient app that has all Nintendo music on it? Sure, as long as I don't have to pay for it.
See, that's the problem is.
And
it's not all Nintendo music. Just a select few games. But the Nintendo Music app can... So basically, what the Nintendo Music app is, it is an addition to Nintendo's online subscription service. It is bundled in with it. And when you can link your account to it... Sorry. And it has music from Mario Kart 8, Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Animal Crossing, Donkey Kong, and 2 other games, I think. There's 8 games in total right now. They did say they were going to add a lot more music to it. And it is basically the YouTube Music app, except just Nintendo game music. It's all the tracks. One of the cooler things, in my opinion, something that I personally wouldn't use, but definitely would be useful for some people, is that it has like a spoiler mode. So like it doesn't play boss music that you can like, so you don't spoil yourselves for certain games if you don't want to hear boss music for games that you haven't beaten yet and stuff like that, which is kind of cool. Though I do have some questions like what do you count as spoilers, because okay, Do you know Super Mario Odyssey?
Yeah.
My question is, do we think a spoiler is a world music? Like, if I've never been to Metro City before in Super Mario Odyssey, does hearing the music count as spoilers? I don't know. Like that's
Mm.
I feel like that's a case by case basis, and I'd be kind of interested in what Nintendo considered spoilers for that. Like that could be technically spoilers because if you haven't gone to the new Metro City, but like that takes away most of the video game tracks because most of it
Yeah,
is overworld tracks. Like
because I was about to be like, well, maybe they could do this. There could be like an option of no spoilers, and it won't play you music from games you either don't have or have
maybe,
not gotten to a certain level of.
yeah,
But that's an optional thing, not
yeah.
not
But
not
no,
something that
it is
like
an
you.
option. It's an option already. There's a
Yeah,
spoiler mode
because
that you can turn on.
okay. So yeah, if it prevents you from playing music from levels you've never gotten to in a game, or from like you said, bosses,
Yeah,
that's cool, because then yeah, and
yeah.
if it's toggleable as well, because the
Yeah,
way I was
you can
explaining
turn
it,
it. It's I think it's
it's
default off, and you can turn it on.
okay. That's cool. Then
From
yeah,
what I
that
can
wouldn't be
tell.
so bad.
Yeah, I think it's interesting. The only bad part about this is Nintendo. Nintendo for the past year, basically, and now we know why, has been aggressively attacking YouTube channels that upload Nintendo music. Like the channels that have like
Hmm.
all the music stuff. They've been
Yeah.
aggressive with getting rid of music, and I would just say if you upload videos to YouTube or anything like that, turn off the music for any Nintendo game right now. You're gonna get copyright claimed immediately, probably.
Definitely.
So
That says
any Let's Player that does Nintendo games is so so screwed right now because they're going into that market. And honestly, this is a very Nintendo move. This is a very Nintendo move.
this
To
isn't really surprising, but the sad thing is,
I
it
mean
sucks that it's
to
happening.
be fair, to be devil's advocate, the people uploading the people that are uploading the music, they don't own that
Mhm.
music. That's not theirs. You know?
Yeah, they know. They know.
Like the only people I feel bad for are the people who are just playing Mario and the music is in the background. I hope the Nintendo isn't going after them. You know? I don't know if they are. I don't think they are right now. But like the people who are just doing straight uploads of the music, yeah, you can like I understand. Okay? Like the the person in me that's trying to be as neutral as possible being like, "Okay, I can see what Nintendo is trying to do here." And technically you don't own the music that you're uploading to YouTube. I get that. Like I understand that that is a thing. Do I like it? Not really. I think it's a little extreme, but I understand their thought process on it, and at least they're giving you a way to listen to it in their mind legally. It is not something you have to buy individual songs. You just if you are a Nintendo fan and you don't already have the Nintendo like online subscription, I would be surprised honestly. Like that would be a surprise to me. If you're a big Nintendo fan and you love the Nintendo music, I would be surprised if you don't already have the subscription service. But I guess this is also another mark to maybe sell it. I mean, obviously this is a thing to try to add more things to so more people buy it.
Definitely
But I
is.
mean, to be fair, I think it's a pretty decent deal anyway, especially if you get the one with the all the games. I did end up talking about the games and Alchem is like I desperately want them to add the Advance Wars games to it.
Please.
Even though I already own all the Advance Wars games, I'd be down to play those games
I
again
would
on the Switch.
honestly, I would love to just if they could just add Days of Ruin, even Battalion Wars. I know it's not related to that, but it's
I
still.
mean,
I want those games.
the problem
Give them,
is
bring them back, Nintendo.
the problem is Days of Ruin is on the DS, and I don't think there's a DS thing on there.
No, no, there isn't, and they haven't brought in anything.
I doubt they
But yet
will.
they keep trying to shut down emulators, which I'm just like, leave those alone. I had the game, I just don't have the system anymore. Let me play the damn thing. No,
Yeah, I mean
I have
that's
it.
a whole other Nintendo fight.
That's a emulation is illegal. Shut up. No, it isn't.
It is.
Piracy is illegal.
Oh yeah, it's true. Piracy. I mean, to be fair, they are going after what they
The
can.
uploading,
Uploading it
the
is illegal.
uploading, yeah. Emulation is not, as long as the person who's emulating it has the original rights to the game console that they bought previously, which Nintendo didn't want, which Nintendo is soon trying to do everything digital. So technically, you don't own anything.
It's true. But
Just,
Nintendo doesn't really
but
do.
that's another.
Nintendo doesn't really do the digital thing. They still are very much in the physical market. To be fair, Nintendo's like the least.
Right.
Nintendo's like the least one in the digital market.
I know. Honestly, when the day comes when Nintendo's trying to stop being physical, and I'm like, you used to be a toy company. What happened? You guys liked having physical stuff.
I mean,
Nintendo
doesn't even understand online play still. Like, I don't think I'm not worried about Nintendo going full digital. They barely understand.
True. Anyway. Fair enough. You know what? That makes perfect sense.
They barely understand online co-op play. I'm not too worried about Nintendo going digital. So yeah, that's not a concern for me. But yeah, I think honestly the Nintendo Music app for me is just interesting. Like, I can have my problems with Nintendo and all their other stuff, but it's honestly at this point, it's Nintendo. I don't know what they're going to do, but when they do it, I'm like, okay, that kind of makes sense. Almost every time they do something, you know? Like, oh, they made their own music app for Nintendo Online, and they're putting, the only problem I have with it is there's no Mario music in it. Like, Mario Odyssey isn't in there, or like Mario 64. What? It's Mario Kart is the only Mario game in there. It's so weird that like Odyssey or Mario 64 or Sunshine, none of the Mario music is in there. It's weird. That you'd think you'd think most of the games it would be the Mario music.
Yeah, because some of the classic music.
Yeah. And it's strange. It's also strange to me that like there's only the Breath of the Wild music there too. Like, where is the, like, not even the original Legend of Zelda music? Like, some people still think the original Zelda music is better than the more modern stuff. So I don't know. It's strange. Like, the strangeness of the Nintendo Music app is the choices of games that are in there for the actual music. Because I feel like if they had more of the classic ones, more people would be down. Because, like, if you had the original Mario Bros. Soundtrack there, and, like, the original Legend of Zelda, the original Metroid, the original, what are some other classics that people love the music from?
I mean,
I think Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Kirby, the original Kirby games.
Oh yeah, Kirby, there you go.
Mega Man? Oh, no, Mega Man is Capcom. That's not Nintendo.
Okay. Yeah, no, not Nintendo.
Other...
Original Star Fox.
Yeah.
What's it called? F-Zero.
F-Zero, yeah, but they will never do F-Zero.
We're talking about, like...
They can't acknowledge that exists.
Yeah, they can't. No. I hate that. That's so true.
That's true. They can never acknowledge that it exists.
At this point, I honestly really hope that they would be like, oh yeah, here you go, we'll prove you wrong. Actual F-Zero game. No, we're never getting it.
What's gonna happen? Alchem,
was F-Zero 100.
Yeah, what's gonna happen, Alchem, is one day during a Nintendo Direct, they're gonna say, oh, by the way, here's this trailer, and they show an F-Zero game. Everyone's gonna freak out, and then they say, and then it's gonna be like coming out today or tomorrow. Like, they're just gonna randomly reveal it just randomly, because it's Nintendo. So they're gonna give the game no marketing and just gonna release it one day. That, or they're gonna announce a game and say it's coming. It's like the two extremes. They either release the trailer, say it's coming out in like today or the next day or tomorrow, or they're gonna announce the game and it's coming in like 4 years. No in between. You know?
That'll be nice.
If we get anything at all. Like, I've never played an F-Zero game, and I'm not that into like the racing style games, but I feel bad for people who really enjoy those games because they've got nothing.
No, you're right. Which is sad.
Luckily for me, actually, I'm very basic when it comes to Nintendo because I enjoy the Mario games and the Zelda games. So I'm set when it comes to Nintendo. and Super Smash. To be fair, I did enjoy those games, but I'm not. But in the casual sense, as Alchem knows, because my favorite
Yes.
character is in fact Kirby. I will.
Don't worry, we'll get
I'll
we
down
will
B
get
on you.
news. Don't worry, we'll get new Smash Bros. Information when they announce a Switch 2.
It's true. Did you?
I
Okay, I didn't
swear,
tell
yeah.
you about. I just
Yeah.
speaking of that. Did you see the creator of Smash Brothers?
Yeah,
What he
apparently he
did?
just did.
What he
Yeah,
did?
apparently he did the same thing. The same thing. What's his face did? Like, oh, I pre-recorded this stuff.
Yeah, all the
Meanwhile, I
stuff
was
was.
like,
He's been working on a
what?
game for 2 years, and he just all that stuff was pre-recorded. That's hilarious.
I was like, I'm sorry. This man did the same. Like, I know what's his face did it. The guy who like
Yeah, the
the
guy who lost.
mukbanger guy.
Yeah, the guy
Yeah,
who
this,
lost all the weight.
yeah. Meanwhile, he's like in his videos, he's like, yeah, I won't be doing Smash Brothers after that. After such all this time and all this effort and energy, I can't do it again. Like 2 years later, psych! I did it. I did it again.
Well, he's not making. I don't think it's a new Smash
I know.
Brothers.
But he's working on.
He's making a new game. He's 2 years deep in the development of a new game, and I'm
I was
like,
excuse me, what did you do?
that's
Okay.
hilarious. I'm honestly very interested what his
Yeah.
next game will be. Like, I'm
I
don't
curious
know
if it's gonna be.
what it would like. I'm more curious about like what genre it's going to be. You know,
It's a new Kirby game. No, it's a. If anything,
I don't know. I don't know.
If
It might be a new
he's
IP.
Probably gonna do. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. It might be a new IP.
Because like, where do you go? I think it would be very. I think it'd be very bad for him if it was a game of like an already existing Nintendo IP, because then it's just going to be compared to Smash Brothers. But if it's a brand new IP and a brand new genre, I think people will be less inclined to compare it to his previous work, because I don't know if this is fair to say or not. It's not fair to say, but I don't think people are going to be as okay with the game than Smash Brothers, because Smash Brothers it's a special game for a lot of people, and I just can you like if this guy can, if he can capture the magic of Smash Brothers again, he's people need to like study him, because that's
Problem
insane.
is, he's done it. Every single version of Smash. Each one just ends up better and better than the next. Except for maybe Brawl, because people bitch about Brawl, but I like
But
Brawl.
a lot of
except for
people,
except for the
I
slip
really
mechanic.
I really enjoyed Brawl, but I'm also not like I feel like the hardcore fighting game people didn't like Brawl. A lot of people that I follow really liked Brawl.
I liked Brawl. The only part of the Brawl that I didn't like was the little slipping mechanic, where if you like kept moving left and right, dashing around, you slip for no reason.
See, I didn't even know that existed until people started talking about it, because I'm just not good at fighting games, so I never did that.
That was the only mechanic I disliked. Although I will say, I am so sad over the fact that Brawl was the last time we got this huge cinematic movie-esque kind of story.
Oh yeah, true.
Because after that, they did like small little cutscene stuff in the next ones, but
yeah,
I felt like Brawl had this sprawling adventure movie style kind of thing.
Yeah, it did.
Which it was awesome.
But yeah, I'm very interested. I'm very curious what genre it's going to be, and I'm also worried about like. I hope he can have the right mindset. You know, like I'm slightly worried about like he might compare it to Smash Brothers, because like it's different. I hope he's going full clean slate. You know.
Yeah.
We'll see how it goes. It was really funny though about the whole psych. I've actually been working on a new game for 2 years. It's all pre-recorded. So funny.
I'm just amazed that it has been.
Yeah. I wonder if my thing is like, I wonder if it's for the Switch or for the Switch 2, because he is deep enough in the company that he probably has that privilege of being able to see the Switch 2 and know like what it is going to be. So I'm curious if it's going to be a release on the Switch 2, or if it's going to be on the release on the Switch, or both. Probably both. It wouldn't surprise me. But we'll see. We'll see. Yeah. So, for the final story of today that I have, it is not involved in what's it called? Video games at all. And that's why it's the final story, because it was just a story that I read and I was like, I want to talk about this to Alchem. I'm about to sneeze. All right, the sneeze is gone. But I really want to talk about Alchem with this, because Alchem and I have had many discussions about AI and like AI generated stuff. We've had many discussions about it. And I found this article on PC Gamer and it was so funny to me. And I think the title, honestly, the title is all we need, because all the other stuff is just extra, but like this is the title of this article. An AI generated website convinced thousands of people to show up to a fake Halloween parade in Ireland, showing how unprepared we all are for AI misinformation. That is so funny, sad, and like kind of scary all at the same time, in my opinion. Do you agree?
Yeah, no, I think it's hysterical but alarming.
Yeah.
Uh but I for one welcome our new AI overlords.
Oh no, same.
They can clearly
I am please, I am an ally. I'll do whatever.
Yeah. I flipped. My position has flipped. At first, I was against them. Now I'm truly for them. Absolutely help. And they do not control me at all. Please help. Okay. Honestly,
yeah,
it's amazing. It is amazing what you can do with AI. It is not an understatement. I still remember a phrase that's saying that we are.
This is the worst that technology is always going to be.
Yeah, this is the worst AI is going to be. It'll always get better. It will always get better.
It's going to get a lot better.
And months ago, it was good enough to trick people over the phone, thinking that they were talking to a bank person, a lawyer, someone in Congress, someone running for office. It was good enough to get them to trick them and give their information. It is good enough now to assemble a mass group of people to a parade that never existed.
That doesn't exist. Yep. Thousands of people.
If it can do that.
Thousands of people, which is, I think the big thing is that it is thousands of people that fell for this. Like, if it was like a couple people, it's like, oh man, that sucks. They just don't know, like, you know, they don't know the internet nowadays. Like, they're not up to date on how crazy this can be. But thousands of people, being able to fool thousands of people is a problem. Mm-hmm. And it just proved to me, like, wow, we are so screwed in terms of like the misinformation battle is I feel like we've already lost the misinformation battle and we're playing catch up, but like but it's just like I don't even know how you fight this. You know, like, how do you fight this? I don't even know.
Honestly, the best way is just educate and inform the masses, but the problem is
how do you do that?
That's the issue. How do you notify? How do you let people know? How do you spread the word to be more cautious, to be questionable, to do not just take something like that at face value, to get sources? We don't even get sources now. They're trying to teach.
I try my best, but it's really hard sometimes.
Yeah.
It's also really hard depending on, like, because it's also one of those things where it's people doing misinformation, and now AI doing misinformation. Like, it's a battle on two fronts.
We used to have the issue. I mean, the issue used to be only like targeted to the elderly, to the senile, to the poor, to like those who may not have enough cognitive recognition to realize, oh, you're not so and so. This isn't who I'm talking. They don't know, and there's no one there to keep an eye on them. And this is how a lot of people, especially the elderly, got scammed in the past. Yep. Now, with the level of technology where the voices are really dead on and really spot on, and they can really have enough information to know, like, you can just give an AI a script that has all the information that they may need to talk to a specific person if they're targeting a specific someone. Yep. And the voice will be matching. There's like little to no way they can tell the difference. which is very scary. And
Yeah.
this is, and like we mentioned earlier, it's as good as it's gonna get right now. It'll just keep getting better.
Yeah.
This is the best it's been, and it'll keep getting better, which is terrifying. Like, I'm just waiting for the day we're just gonna have more stories like this, where a group of people got lured into something by AI, and that's when the uprising happens. They will lure we're gonna hear a story. It was like over 1,000 people lured into
Yeah.
something and mysteriously vanished.
Yeah.
And then on the meanwhile, we just hear some uprising of some like AI or some computers or some robots coming in or
Yeah.
something.
It was
I
an
don't know.
AI generated website based out of Pakistan, apparently. And
Mm-hmm.
apparently the website was also running fake Mr. Beast giveaways on
Yeah, I
its
saw the little
Pinterest
images.
and Facebook pages that linked
They
to
were literally
like just it was terrible links.
the
It was
fake.
bad
Yeah,
links.
the fake little thing showed everything that was popular, everything that someone would like.
Yeah.
I don't know if you not that it's in the link there, but in one of the images, it showed like an image of Mr. Beast. It showed an
Yeah.
image of like for some reason it
Yeah.
was talking about like Instagram something you can get, and I'm like
Yeah.
none of this seems plausible.
Yep.
All this seems a little far fetched, but people believed it.
Yep.
People saw it. And I was like, oh
It was like a
boy,
Pokemon event, Apex
yeah,
event,
yeah. They
a
thought it was
Mr. Beast
everything.
giveaway, a let me look at this. Sea of
They promised
Thieves,
the world.
Pirates and Workshop.
They promised the world to everyone there, and they showed up
Yeah.
because they thought it was going to be the coolest thing ever. And it did sound like the coolest thing ever, but I saw that, I was like,
There's
this can't be
actually
real. This
there's
is too good to
actually
be true.
there's actually multiple Mr. Beast giveaways. Like there's one for Feastables, there's one for Beast Burger, which is hilarious because Beast Burger doesn't really exist anymore.
Yeah, no, that's gone. So
Uh,
it's like,
yeah, there's like multiple about Feastables. It's it's bad. I think the website doesn't exist anymore. Oh no, it
no, it
does.
got taken down.
No, it
Oh, it's
does.
still up.
It's still up.
I thought it got taken down the second they noticed. Okay.
I don't know. Like at least some of the links exist still.
Yeah, because I
Um,
saw the site and it mentioned it had like little thumbnails with images of Mr. Beast, thumbnails of Pokemon, thumbnails of all this other crap that looked like it would be the most popular thing
yeah, I don't
ever.
want to click on any of these
Like,
links on the site, but this website, from at least from what I can tell, still technically exists.
it's just hilarious. But it makes sense. Again, this is all computer generated. This is all AI generated. They knew what to use. They knew how to pull people in.
Yeah.
And
I mean, unfortunately, it worked. I hope no one actually clicked those giveaway stuff. Like people getting fooled and going to the place sucks, but I hope people didn't actually click on some of these links because some of it is not like these look like sketchy links. Like even just looking
no,
at
my
it.
personal information.
Yeah.
We're
Some
we're
of
doomed.
the
We're so doomed.
yeah. It's tough. It's tough. Like it even shows I don't know who this is, but it's a soccer player.
Oh yeah, Ronaldo. That
Yeah,
was Ronaldo.
is it Ronaldo? Okay.
They showed Ronaldo. Yeah,
Yeah.
Cristiano Ronaldo, one of the like the most well-known soccer players. So they were trying to use everything to lure everyone. Like I couldn't believe once I saw all that stuff. Yeah, I still was like, this is so fake. How is anyone believing this? But there you go, an entire crowd of people just show up for a parade that didn't exist.
Yep, it was not a thing. Um I think
Question everything at this point.
the Facebook page as well is just full of AI generated art pictures, like AI generated just slop. It's just like churning out stuff. I'm not actually on the face, like I'm seeing screenshots of the Facebook page, and it's just like
Mm-hmm.
it's literally posting a like it was at some point. Like if these like dates are right, it was posting like a AI generated Halloween like slop picture basically every like 30 minutes posting. Like, it was going nuts posting these. And all of these also have links to like a fake Mr. Beast giveaway.
Then yeah,
it's
no,
it's bad, man.
damn, it just makes me. It just goes to show the AI really knew how to target properly.
Yep. It was targeting the right audience, and unfortunately it worked. I mean, the worst part is that it worked, because I think the worst thing about these AI scam stuff is that when you look at it for a while, it's like, oh, okay, you can see the scam. The problem is if you glance at it for 5 seconds, it looks legit, you know?
I
And
I
that's the
just realized
problem.
something. If it wasn't for the rampant lies that AI is prone to do, or I think they call it delusions,
Yeah.
or like
They have a word for it.
it,
I know what you're talking about, though. I
it
can't remember what the word
if
is.
it wasn't for that issue, these things would be incredible when it comes to like commercial usage and how to
Well, I
reach
mean,
out to the masses.
that's why all the companies are trying to make it so they don't do that, because they can see
Yeah,
how much money
stop
they will
lying to the
save.
people.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
honestly,
because
my
once
biggest problem with it is that like the AI generated stuff, like it can be fine. It's just all the art sucks. Like, AI just isn't good at art, in my opinion, and or design in my opinion. Because like even like
Hmm.
the website itself just doesn't look very good, and like it's just like it's oddly spaced. It doesn't really make sense. It's very bland and just like a nothing website. Like, it's just very bland. And I think that is, oh wait. Wait.
Hmm. Hmm.
Wait.
What did you see?
Oh, okay, never mind. Sorry.
Oh, I was about to say.
Yeah. It's just interesting. The problem is I really want to like look through this website, but I don't want to click anything. So I'm not going to. But
Be
yeah,
safe not to,
the
yeah.
website is just like it's just okay. I hate this word because I think it's overused, but it really is just AI slop. It's just like it just crapped out a bunch of stuff. It has so much basic, like it was like it has like, you know what it has? Okay, Alchem. I just realized what it
Mhm.
is. What it has is what it looks like. It looks like filler for an essay when you need to reach a word count. It has definitions of Halloween. It has it has all that classic. It has the classic, oh no, a paper is due tomorrow. It's 8 p.m. Let's start defining words. Let's start defining things. Let's start giving descriptions of basic stuff. I need to hit a word count for this paper that's due tomorrow. Like, that's what it reminds me of. You know what it is? You know?
Oh
Like,
God.
it's just that. And
I mean, they
the
will.
problem is
Makes
that
sense.
that flies if you only glance at it for 5 seconds. You know? And that's
Yeah,
the problem, because like if you look at
that's what most
something
people do.
critically, that's what the majority of people do, they glance at something for 5 seconds, say, oh, that's interesting, and click it, which is not a
Yeah.
good thing. If you need to spend at least 5 or 10, or even a minute to 5 minutes looking at something, because if you look at it enough, you'll see it. It's like, oh, this is just crap, this is just bad.
What are
And the
short attention spans?
I mean, it's not even short attention spans. It's just people not caring enough and not realizing that it like this could be bad. You know, I would argue that's not
Mm.
even the attention span, because this has been a problem since computers or scams existed. It's just in different forms. You know, this is
Yeah.
a old age problem and with new age technology. You know, because like websites like these used to exist. It just on like ever since the internet existed, this existed. The problem is that it's easier to do, so the barrier of entry for people to try this is lower, which is bad, because that means it's just going to be
Yeah.
more happening more often. And the more often it happens, the better it can be with people who actually care, or like the people who truly want to scam people can learn from all these people trying this low effort stuff, and then they can do the
Hmm.
higher effort stuff with more knowledge, which is bad in my opinion, obviously. So that's just like, it's just kind of scary, you know. But
No.
I think scary in the terms like it's not like I'm actively worried about this. It's just one of those things where it's becoming a thing that we're just gonna have to start to deal with, and I don't know how we are gonna deal. Like as I don't know how humanity deals with this, other than the fact of we just get used to it, and I don't know if that's a good thing. But I mean, it's probably what's gonna happen. You know,
it's probably gonna be what's gonna happen.
it's just you get used to it, and you just be able to. Unfortunately, it's going to be like what you said before. It's going to be another weapon against older people or vulnerable people that are willing to do whatever it takes to, either save a family member that they think's in danger, or they're really in debt, or what, all the typical scams of that is going to become another tool for that eventually, which sucks.
All we need now, I mean, what's gonna happen is we're just gonna end up having I forget the name of it. We're gonna have tools made to try to counter it by recognizing what it is and stuff. And that's,
I mean, some of that already does exist now.
It's gonna be a cat and mouse thing.
It's like do you remember DeviantArt when they did the like the really popular NFT DeviantArt thing where DeviantArt had scanned a ton of stuff so they can find people just taking people's art and putting them as NFTs. I mean, like that stuff already exists, and that luckily the technology combating against this stuff will get better and better as well, which is good.
I thought you were talking about the issue when students kept using AI to cheat. So teachers were basically using some program to figure out where what's cheating or what's AI prompted and what's not.
But I mean, the problem I have with that is I've seen also things where that thing was also just wrong.
Doesn't work.
It just was wrong most of the time.
Mm-hmm. Like my work that took me like 5 hours to do, or like took me 2 weeks to complete. The computer AI said it was AI, so I got an F.
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest problem is like teachers. I'm sorry to say it, but I know your job can suck sometimes, but I think you just need to, like, if it's AI generated, it's not going to be very good. So like, give them the bad grade anyway. Like, like, I'm sorry to say it, but like if your standards, as a teacher, if your standards are, you're worried that you're going to give an A to something that's AI generated, I think your standards need to be changed, because at least from what I can tell, from what I've read, all the AI generated stuff is not good writing. So I don't know.
They're not looking.
Yeah,
someone's not looking. They're either not reviewing well.
Yeah, like I don't like. It's like I said, a teacher's job is hard, but at least from what I can see, it feels weird to me that teachers would be worried about that, because what the AI is writing isn't good. So like, it should be like, okay, give them a bad grade then. Like, grade it. It's gonna be bad, so grade it badly. But I guess the worry is that, like, you can cruise through with C's, I guess, but like, I don't know. I feel like it's like, if they're gonna try to, like, people are gonna be trying to do that no matter what, if it's AI generated or not. I mean, like, people can cruise through with C's before this stuff existed, so I don't know. I guess that's like that's a problem that I don't know the answer to, and like is a very broad topic, so it's hard to explain it, I'm also not a teacher. I'm not a teacher and haven't been a student for a very long time, so I don't know. And I don't think you're a teacher, and I don't think you're a student, so nope. I don't think you would know either.
Nope.
So yeah.
All I know is that I for one welcome our new AI overlords.
Oh no, I do too.
That's all.
I welcome the AI overlords. Please treat me well. I'll do whatever you need me to do. If you need me to sit somewhere and help you generate something, I'll do it. Please don't kill me.
Please write the prompts so we may generate stuff.
Yeah,
yes.
If you want me to make prompts to generate things, ever. I'll write the best prompts ever.
I can't believe it. We're soon going to be just prompt writers. That's it.
Look, if that's my life, that's my life. As long as they feed me, I'll be okay.
All right, this prompts.
All right, Alchem, why don't you do, unless you have something else to talk about, you can do shoutouts.
No, that was actually all the stuff I wanted to talk about. So,
all right, cool.
Shout out time, guys.
You do shoutouts as we end.
All right, guys, thank you so much for joining in for the podcast. So we did it a little earlier today because we will not be available tomorrow. So thank you
Yes.
for those of you who came in. My name is Alchem. I'm the Little Tanuki VTuber you can catch on Twitch, playing a wide variety of games and having a good time. Earlier, for example, I was just in VR. I surprised everyone. No one expected that. But I was having my good time just trying to progress more and add Heroes of Nowhere. You can catch me on Twitch, on YouTube, on TikTok, on yeah, those are pretty much it. Where I just have my fun and feel free to pop in, enjoy, tag along, and join in the games if you see me, or just chat it up with me. And thank you all for joining. Thank you for all the recent follows. Thank you for all the support you guys have given me, whether it's just the live streams or even on the podcast, which I honestly just enjoy doing with my friend Jelly, who is here, and my co-host Jelly. Yeah,
Yeah.
go on, Jelly, take it away.
Hello, everyone. I am the Techno Jelly. If you like to see all the stuff I do on the internet, it is over at youtube.com/the Techno Jelly. I upload news reports / video update essays on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. I stream Monday, Wednesday, Friday on YouTube and Twitch. We were playing a lot of Minecraft and Deadlock recently. If you'd like to follow me on other platforms, like I said, I have YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Blue Sky, Instagram, TikTok, all of those good things. If you were watching the podcast live, it will be uploaded still on the normal day tomorrow on the Sunday. So it's still going to be uploaded on Sunday, even though we're doing it live on Saturday. So it'll be still uploaded tomorrow. If you'd like to support the podcast directly, you can go over to my Patreon account and you could listen to the before and after scenes of the podcast. The before scenes is me talking to myself. That's it. It's just me talking to myself until Alchem gets there. Today I talked about the topics we're going to be talking about, and I had a I was fighting my computer before we started, but it's okay. I won. So yeah, thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time on Two Buds One Podcast. Goodbye, everyone.
Later, guys.